PriceRight.ky.
Radio Cayman,
the voice,
the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Optical Outlook, now at their new location in Anderson Square. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook. And Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And TCE Paint Shop, with 3 locations to better serve your home decor needs. Cox Lumber, Sparky Drive, Cox Lumber, Bodden Town, and the original store at 27 Godfrey Nixon Way.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. Here's your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome to the Business Buzz. This is our first segment on the buzz for today, and we're starting off with putting the focus on Code Cayman. I want to say good morning to all our listeners, our YouTube viewers, our producer, Miss Susan Watson, who is in the studio, and of course our guest this morning. Good morning.
Morning.
And we're speaking with Mr. Brandon Caruana. Brandon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much.
I think we've met in the studio before, but I can't remember.
Yes, definitely.
It is good to have you in the studio. This morning we're going to put the focus, as I said, on Code Cayman. I have no idea what Code Cayman is all about, so I want to hear everything from you. Don't leave any details out this morning, Brandon. So how did Code Cayman start up?
It started in 2019 as a small group of coders. Just wanting to, I guess, spread their knowledge, and it evolved into a nonprofit, and we raise money from local businesses and certainly onshore businesses as well, and so what we do is we basically provide free coding classes. There's a $200 refundable deposit. The only reason we take a deposit is to ensure people show up.
Okay.
And then we give you your money back. All the classes are usually filled up within 2 or 3 days. So right now we are doing a Mandarin course, which, some people have asked me, that doesn't seem to have anything to do with coding.
I was thinking the same thing too.
Arguably, language is coding, so it's a form of code. So and obviously we feel that Mandarin's going to be one of the most popular languages in the future. And if you're going to get into business, you probably should have some handle on it. So we have a native Mandarin speaker in the program, and she said, "Hey, I'm willing to do a Mandarin course," and took it on. So we did the first week last week. It was really good. I'm taking it. It's a great course.
Okay.
And
can you tell me hello in Mandarin?
No.
I would think that would be your first word, Brandon.
It was, and you've put me on the spot, so I've totally forgot at this point.
I'm just putting you in the spot.
Oh, Chloe's going to be so mad at me.
I know Chloe. I met Chloe.
Oh, yeah?
I think she does. If it's the right Chloe, she's a mentor for the Chamber mentoring program.
Probably. Yeah.
So how did you become? You're the founder, of course, of Code Cayman. So how did you get into the business, into this particular,
Yeah, so I've been
nonprofit.
I've been a software engineer for all my life, and then graduated to being chief technology officer of a company, and I've been in Cayman for 13 years. And when I first moved here, I was one of 5 software developers on the island. I was just a lonely person, so I wanted friends.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think we were just. As I said, it started as a small group, and we saw sort of the need for it. There's no profit motive behind it. It's kind of just a pure give back to the community. I think if you're going to create a business, you should be a good corporate citizen, and that is the entire motivation for it. There's definitely a need for more, let's call it technology literate labor force in Cayman, and I think what our goal is just to sort of open the doors and show you what's available. So for the youth program, we created a dedicated program just for kids. We give everybody that joins that a free computer, right? So it's called the Raspberry Pi.
Raspberry
Pi.
Pi.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's an attractive name. Raspberry Pis are sort of the dream of the 90s and the early 2000s to create a $25 computer. And so it's basically a small little board that you can hack and add stuff to. So you can add like lasers to, you can add lights to, you can add other sensors to, gyro sensors, whatever. And you can build whatever you want. One of the projects was to build a Raspberry Pi attached to a camera that was attached to a weather balloon. It goes up in the air, films down, and obviously the wind takes it wherever it goes, and then you go capture it, and you can kind of see whatever it is.
Okay.
So we were studying that, and oddly enough, at a certain point a year, if you launch a weather balloon at the western tip of Cayman Brac, you can actually just miss Grand Cayman, but by boat you can go catch it. It's about a mile out.
How many programs do you have, Brandon?
Oh, I think we have like 9 now.
9.
So there's.
Which one did you start with? Can you remember?
We started with Women Code.
Women Code.
So that was just a group of women that were. A friend of mine was hanging out with some women, and they said, "Oh, we want to learn to code," and he said, "Oh, I'll teach you," and that was the beginning of it. It's just that simple, and so that one exploded, and we officially launched a course. 30 people signed up, 22 people finished it. It was phenomenal. At this point in time, we've gone through 600 or 700 people have come through our doors.
Very good.
Some people have taken every single one of our courses. Other people have gone from taking a course to becoming a mentor themselves. Some people have got jobs to come out of it. That loop has kind of still got to get closed a little bit better, but we're working towards it. But to answer your original question, we have a blockchain course, an Excel, which I thought wasn't going to be as popular as it is, but it's super popular. We have Intro to Programming, Intro to Python. We have Youth Code, Women Code, We Code. I'm probably Mandarin, and there's one more that I'm missing.
And they're all absolutely free.
All absolutely free. Generally, the commitment is 1 hour, 1.5 hours per week, from 6 to 8 weeks, depending on what the course is. And
you said you take a deposit, right?
Yeah.
Of how much again?
$200.
$200. So the attendance, how was the percentage of classes I have to attend for that money be refunded?
80% is
80%,
what we
okay.
target.
Okay, that's fair.
And
That's
we've
fair.
never had to keep anybody's money, so everybody seems to show up.
That's great. Now, how long does the take, for instance, the Mandarin .code, how long does it run for?
It runs for 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Once a week. So
right.
it's actually tonight at
Oh,
7:30
okay.
or 7. I can't remember.
When did this one start?
Last week.
Last week.
Yeah.
So is it too late to join this
Yeah, well,
program?
the class is full.
Oh, it's
at
full.
this point. They all fill up as soon as we announce it. Then within 2 or 3 days, it's full.
How many do you have for a full class?
Well, because of the state of affairs of the world right now, we've capped it at 12.
12,
But
okay.
generally, our tech lab can hold up to 27 people. So before the world went this way, we were at 27 people in class.
So let's stick to Mandarin for a second. What sort of topics do you cover on that course?
Well, it's only been one. So far they just going through like the alphabet, the pinyin, which is kind of how to say things, how to convert like the Chinese characters, the Mandarin characters into quasi-Latin characters, and how to do that. So that's kind of the first week where we did learn to say hi and some other great words that you've put me on the spot and I'm blushing now. So I'm lucky I have a mask on.
So is there any type of prerequisite for any of your classes?
No prerequisites for any of our
okay.
classes. We do have a commit, what we call the Code Cayman commit, where you can get a official Google recognized career certificate. So Google has created these career certificates. They say that they are bachelor degrees, like the equivalent of a BA. You take the course online. Instructions are all online. Generally, I think it costs somewhere around $400 to do that. For our participants, we pay for it. So anybody that like graduates one of the intro courses and is like, hey, I want to go to the next step, they can take one of these Code Command Commit programs. It's on through Coursera, but we pay for it. And if you need any support while you're going through it, we're there to kind of help you. If you like hit a snag, you're like, hey, I don't understand what TCP/IP means, right? And we'll show you how it works and kind of help you out.
Awesome. You can't go wrong with that, right?
Yep.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Business Buzz. This is a Tuesday edition of the Buzz, and this is our first segment. We're speaking with Mr. Brandon Caruana. Brandon is the founder of Code Cayman. And listen up, this is a new year. You've made those New Year resolutions. Maybe this would be a good time to learn something new. Brandon, which is the next class that you're going to offer at Cayman?
The very next course, again, it's it's already filled up, but it'll be Excel. And then Youth Code Cayman.
Excel, that's amazing. I would think by now everybody would know how to use at least basic.
That's what I thought.
Basic Excel. I'm basic still.
Yeah.
But,
so am I.
Until I need it for some other, more intense sort of,
Well, Excel's a great program because if you're like nerdy like me, you love data and analyzing it and manipulating it, and Excel gives you sort of a very easy way to do that.
Yeah. Now, Brandon, what are some ways Code Cayman is building digital literacy to inspire the next generation of programmers? I have no idea about programming.
Okay.
All I can do is spell the word.
So I give you a quick story. So I guess I got into programming when I was very young. My mom, I was 6. I'm now 40, so it's been a while. My mom, you can imagine the state of computers back then. My mom bought me a computer, and built my first program when I was 6. I built a game. And, I used to go to parties, computer parties, because, again, I was a really big nerd. And we would bring all our computers, network them together, and play games together. They were called LAN parties. But I think that was kind of the beginning of the introduction to, hey, computers do what I say. My mom wouldn't do what I say. She would tell me what to do. But a computer would do what I say over and over again, nonstop. So that's kind of that was the switch in my head that got me interested in computer science. And that's kind of what we're trying to replicate here is, look, I'll show you. We'll show you. Code Cayman will show you kind of the basics of what a computer will do. I can tell you the kids pick it up so much quicker than the adults. They do. It's immediate. Some of them have come to me with some pretty advanced questions. I've shown them how to do some pretty advanced things. And so that's kind of the gap that we're trying to fulfill is teach kids now. There is a future for you in programming and in IT and in software development. The world is sort of entirely moving into this software-driven economic model, what I like to call the machine economy, right? So you see cars right now, they're starting to drive themselves, but really it's just a computer driving a car. And so, if they're making those decisions, then you kind of got to know how to manipulate the thing that's making the decisions in order to continue to move forward. That's right. And the last thing I'd just love to say on kind of the digital economy and what's happening is that getting a digital skill in like programming or, graphic design, anything, product management, project management, understanding the landscape of digital development is sort of a great equalizer. So you don't need to go become a doctor to make $100,000 a year. You don't need to go become a lawyer or an accountant. You can become a software engineer. You can become a project manager. The base salaries on these things. A gamer. A gamer is another one.
See how much those guys are making off gaming?
A social media star, a TikTok star. Yeah.
Yeah.
These kids are making millions.
Forbes just published their list for 2021, and I think a 10-year-old is in the top running.
Yeah.
Oh. And on that note, Susan, we probably need to make some money off the internet as well. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion with Mr. Brandon Caruana, founder of Code Cayman.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Sherman Ertis Ebanks, Certificate of Honor, 1915-1995. Captain Ertis was a pioneer in the charter fishing and diving industry, for which he received the Queen's Certificate and Badge of Honor in 1991. He introduced the sport of boxing to the Cayman Islands, for which he received recognition from the Ministry of Sports, Youth Affairs, and Culture. He was a pioneer in the taxi service and in Jeep rental. He served in the Royal Cayman Islands Police Force for 10 years, during which time the Home Guard was established, and he served there as well, keeping watch at the lighthouse during World War II. He was married to Phyllis R. Ebanks, and the couple had 4 children.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
2020. Unprecedented times, uncertainty, and literally a new way of life.
Life happens, usually without warning.
That is why making sure that your family is insured is so important.
Cayman Insurance Center, 47 years strong, working to protect your family and your most valuable assets.
Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family.
For more information, call 949-4657. Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, health, motor, and other lines of insurance products and services at affordable rates.
Electric bills are up, air quality is down, and apparently a global pandemic to dampen your spirits. Sherwin-Williams can help with their insulating super paint featuring zero VOC with air purifying, sanitizing, microbicidal technology. Prevent the spread of bacteria and kill up to 99% of bacteria. Improve your home air quality and fight COVID germs. Exterior insulating acrylic can reduce up to 85% solar and UV radiation. A freshly painted home can definitely lift those spirits. A brighter home, better home, air quality, and lower home CUC bills. That's a win home run. Sherwin-Williams, 150 years strong. TCE Paint Shop has 3 locations to better serve you. Cox Lumber and the original store at 27 Godfrey Nixon Way. Call 943-0565.
Now open on the sister island, Brack Medical Supplies. Located at 403 Gerard Smith Avenue, next to the Alexander Hotel. Open Tuesday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Telephone number 948-2228. Brack Medical Supplies.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Until 8 o'clock. Thank you for joining us on the Business Buzz this morning. We have in the studio joining us is Mr. Brandon Caruana. Brandon is the founder of Code Cayman. Brandon, it's how do you? I know you advertise. You have your website. Are you on Facebook as well?
We're on everything. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter.
I keep trying to get on TikTok, but nobody wants to do dances with me.
Oh boy, maybe you could have some of the youth who come in to do the.
Oh, I'm gonna tell them. Anita told me to do that.
Oh yeah. I mean, the kids are just love to have fun.
Yeah.
Most of them, at least.
Yes.
Now, so let's talk about youth. Let's talk a little bit more about youth.code Cayman and the goals of the program, and when is the next one going to start, Brandon?
So the next one starts in early Feb, first week of Feb.
That's next 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. Yeah.
Basically.
I don't know if it's full, but certainly just go to www.codecayman.com or codecayman.com, and on the top there you can go to Programs Youth, and then sign up from there. It's 6 weeks, hour and a half a week. We're basically, I'm running that program, so I'm going to go through sort of an operating system, the basics of it, internet communication, and then we'll build a small game at the end. So
a small game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's either going to be, we usually either build paper, rock, scissors or tic-tac-toe, both of which I show them how to outsmart their opponent with the computer.
Very nice, very nice. And so all the other programs, they're on your website, of course. Whenever we're coming up, the dates coming up,
yeah,
and all the information.
Yeah, so we list all the programs. We decide internally kind of what the schedule is for a quarter, and then we announce it through social media. And yeah, we've got a pretty big social media following at this point, very engaged. So yeah, the word gets out very quickly or very organically. We don't advertise anywhere. We don't.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, no, no.
Do you have a telephone number that you can share with them?
No, we don't use. We're digital, so
okay.
No analog voice communication.
Okay.
Send us an email. Send us a.
What's your email address?
info@codecayman.com.
Okay. And your website is
codecayman.com.
Codecayman.com.
Yeah.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah.
Do you offer any learning opportunities, Brandon, for anyone who's interested in the future of business and technology, especially on how to turn an idea into a business?
Yeah, so that's kind of the whole point of technology and what's happening in the world right now. So a good friend of mine, Paul Henry, came to me and he's like, hey, he's sort of... He's a very innovative individual, and he was like, I'll teach it, but can we run a startup course? So Paul helps his participants go from idea to sort of, this is your first step to creating the structure and the company. This is how you go find engineers and software developers. This is how you kind of think about whether your idea actually makes sense. A lot of people, everybody has ideas, right? Ideas are a dime a dozen. It's the execution of the idea that matters. So can you turn your idea into something and create the operational infrastructure to support it? Because I can promise you, creating 3 companies in my life, it's hard. It's a lot of work. It's sleepless nights. It's a roller coaster, and you kind of just got to power through and figure out, all right, this idea is this. How do I turn this idea into a revolving door of operations? And he really kind of dives deep into how to execute that. But in saying all that, I'd love to make a plea to the audience and to Cayman at large. If you have skills, if you are inclined of any way, we're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for other people to help out with the program and the institution at large. So by all means, reach out to us and we'll slot you in. Whatever your skill set is, like teaching Excel, great. You want to run our books? Run our books. So you want to run our social media, run our social media.
Is that all voluntary or?
It's all voluntary. Yeah, okay. We're a volunteer organization end to end. We are looking to hire a paid team member, but we're just trying to figure out sort of what the role looks like and how to do it. But we're looking to hire someone to be like the MD or the main person running it, so I can step away a little bit. And, so basically, someone to replace me. I'm trying to fire myself.
Give you a break. No, I'm not sure if you want to touch on this, Brandon, but for those who have an interest in how cryptocurrency work, can you give us a little information on that topic?
Sure. So I guess I'll steer away from calling it a currency and mostly stick to the infrastructure of it all.
Okay.
So obviously the virtual assets, cryptocurrency, are all powered by a blockchain, which is just a read-only database. And I think that's the piece that people need to really understand about these things, is that it's just this global read-only database. You can write, you can't update, right? So it's create and read information from it, but you cannot update or delete information from it. And so the power of that, the reason why it's caught so many people's imagination is because no longer do you have to rely on a centralized service to hold information, control information, and distribute it. And so I think you saw with like Twitter when they banned Donald Trump, right? Centralized authorities have the power to make decisions on data that they control, whereas these blockchains, they strip that authority away from any one person and let everybody do whatever they want. And of course, there's a double-edged sword to that. There's a good side of letting everybody do what they want. There's a bad side. And so the natural first step, the natural first use case of sort of this distributed create and read-only database is to create digital scarcity. And digital scarcity has never been created before. Scarcity being I can own this Word document, I can own this digital object, and nobody else can own it, right? So you create a Word document, I copy and paste it, I send it to you, I have a copy, you have a copy, there's no scarcity involved. Whereas a cryptocurrency, a Bitcoin or whatever, if I create a Bitcoin, if I have a Bitcoin, I can't copy and paste it to you. So that makes it unique and controlled just by me. And so inevitably, when you create digital scarcity, it inevitably leads up to sort of a Bitcoin.
Thanks for that explanation.
No problem.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Brian, before we let you go, we're heading up to news time. Is there anything else you want to recap, Code Cayman?
I think the only things I'd love to just drill home is volunteers. We're looking for them. If you want to run a program, please reach out. You want to run our social media or our accounting or finance department, please by all means reach out. And also it's coming up to sponsorship season. So if you are working at a company, let's say one of the big four or one of the big law firms, by all means, go convince your directors to donate to us. We use the money to buy computers for kids. We use the money to run our programs and keep the lights on. Nobody makes any of the money. Nobody keeps any of the money. So that's kind of my final message on it.
Well, hopefully this medium will be good for you this morning.
I hope so.
good for donations. Brandon, I want to wish you all the best with your Mandarin.
Thank you.
Next time you come back and here, I'll have questions for you.
I'll definitely be able to say
Mandarin.
hi next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, and thanks for sharing.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with all the programs as well.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this morning on the Business Buzz. This is our first segment on the Buzz this morning. We have a second segment coming up, but you'll have to go through the news, weather, traffic, and Susan's got some goodies in there somewhere. Susan? Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center, Cayman Medical Supplies. Don't forget Brack Medical Supplies, now open in Cayman Brack. And of course, TCE Paint.
Thank you, Anita. And studio time by Price Right is $7.59.
Deals at Price Right.
Keep your New Year's goals in check with ProForm push-up stands, just $12.99, save $4. Or if DIY is more your thing, we have the little giant mega light ladder for $209.99, save $70.
And if you're feeling musical, we've got the Casio 61-key portable keyboard for $139.99, save $45. K-Man, it's time to live better for less at Priced Right.
Price is good until January 19th, 2022. Find more deals at pricedright.ky.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brack and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. Preparations for a scaled-down version of National Heroes Day 2022 are well underway. More from CIGTV's Donna Bush.
This year's theme of honoring our uniformed services, the recognition program, will acknowledge around 500 persons past and present across 7 agencies. In the interest of safeguarding participants, the event is by invitation only. So far, one event has been confirmed that will happen on the holiday Monday, the 24th of January. Hero Square will be the venue, with the celebration featuring speeches from the Premier and the Minister for Home Affairs and Culture. A highlight of the morning ceremony will be the formal unveiling of the 10th National Hero.
Chief Protocol Officer Melanie Sims says the plan is for separate ceremonies to be held for individual districts to help limit the number of those in attendance.
We would recognize the Sister Islands, we would recognize the Eastern Districts, and we would recognize the Western District. So the Western Districts is Georgetown and West Bay is one day, one time, one grouping. Because again, we have to limit those numbers based upon our 250 max, and we're trying our best to keep way below that number. And again, we have to recognize all 500 of our recipients. So we're trying to strategically do this in the same honor that we would do National Heroes Day in one day, but instead to split it out over the course of a few days.
Speaking on Radio Cayman's For the Record, Ms. Sims added that it is, quote, tentative when those events will take place, and it's unknown if they will take place physically or virtually. And 7 new people are hospitalized over the weekend with COVID-19. Government reported 843 new positive results for the disease on Monday, 11 of those in the Sister Islands. 15 COVID-19 patients were hospitalized in Cayman as of midnight on Monday. In regional news, Jamaica's preparations for the upcoming friendly international against Peru have hit a setback as 3 members of the delegation tested positive for COVID-19. In a release by the Jamaica Football Federation on Monday, 2 players and an official who were scheduled to leave today were confirmed to have contracted the virus. However, the statement went on to say that they are asymptomatic and are currently isolating at home. The rest of the delegation was expected to arrive in Lima today in preparation for Thursday's game. The friendly is being used by the interim head coach as a means to evaluate players who could feature in the Reggae Boys' upcoming World Cup qualifying matches against Mexico, Panama, and Costa Rica. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. Belarus has confirmed that Russian troops have begun arriving on its territory for several weeks of joint military exercises. The Belarusian Defence Ministry said it was hosting the combat drills because of tensions on its borders with the EU and Ukraine. The government in Tonga says some of the country's smaller, less populated islands were severely damaged by Saturday's volcanic eruption and tsunami. On one island, all the houses were destroyed. On another, just 2 remain standing. Houthi rebels in Yemen say about 20 people have died in airstrikes by the Saudi-led coalition on the capital, Sana'a. The raids were in retaliation for a Houthi attack on Monday that killed 3 people in Abu Dhabi. At least 22 people are known to have been killed in Monday's earthquake in western Afghanistan. Hundreds of buildings collapsed during the quake near the border with Turkmenistan. Reports from Kenya say more than 20 bodies have been found dumped in a river. A human rights activist who found the decomposing bodies said many showed marks of having been tortured. Indonesia's parliament has passed a bill that paves the way for relocating the capital from Jakarta to a new city on the island of Borneo. Jakarta will remain Indonesia's commercial centre. Opponents of the plan say it will cause extensive environmental damage. An historic villa in Rome that contains the only known mural by the Renaissance painter Caravaggio is going on auction today. The opening bid for the Villa Aurora is expected to be more than $500 million. The English cricket authorities have launched an investigation after police had to break up a drinking session involving players from England and Australia following their final match in Tasmania. They were all staying at the same hotel in Hobart, where England had just lost. That's the latest. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
The Overseas Government Scholarship deadline for the 2022-2023 academic year is Monday, 31st January. To apply for an overseas government scholarship or learn more about the various scholarship programs before the deadline, please visit the recently upgraded scholarship application portal at www.moescholarships.gov.ky or email the Scholarship Secretariat Unit at scholarships@gov.ky.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 76 degrees. Relative humidity is 55%. The barometric pressure is 30.05 inches and steady. The wind is northeast at 8 knots. Overnight low temperature was 73. Synopsis indicate cloudy skies expected over the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a cold front east of the Cayman area. Moderate northerly winds and seas with some swells are expected to continue impacting the northern and western coast today. Satellite images show low-level clouds over the northwest Caribbean moving towards the east. Now the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will rise to the upper 70s. Winds will be north to northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Swells of 1 to 3 feet are expected to impact the northern and western coast, as we mentioned. Tonight, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures dipping to the low 70s tonight. Winds will be northerly at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 10:31, low tide this afternoon at 4:36, and a high tide again tonight at 9:46. The sun will set this evening at 9 minutes past 6 and will rise tomorrow morning at 3 minutes after 7. And the outlook is calling for isolated showers on Wednesday as remnants of the cold front drifts across the Cayman area. A decrease in cloudiness and showers is expected from Thursday morning.
10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we're more than just an insurance company, we're a family. To learn more about our first-in-class group health and employee benefit solutions, please visit Pan American Life Insurance Company of the Cayman Islands at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304. You can also visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, tell a friend. Having an accountability partner is often helpful in achieving your goals. Let your parents and partner know what you are planning or doing. Sharing with others also helps us to develop the ideas and our vision. Writing down your goals can help to solidify them for you and help you to stay accountable.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at what's happening on our roads. Traffic is busy coming from the east on the Linford Pearson Highway and also on Crew Road heading to Georgetown. And eastbound traffic is moving on pretty good on Crew Road. As we look to Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is flowing at a good pace, and light to moderate traffic flow on Owen Roberts Drive as well as on Edward Street. And Shedden Road looking pretty good as well. And on the West Bay Road, traffic is flowing moderately in both directions, especially in front of the Ritz. Huldah Avenue, steady bit flowing traffic. And on North Sound Road, traffic steady in some sections moderate. But that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report.
At Subway, we caramel a lot about our customers, so we decided to give you 2 treats in one with the new Caramel Apple Cookie. Enjoy cinnamon apples, caramel bits, and salted caramel crunch baked in, and topped with a drizzle of caramel-flavored icing. Gooey, crunchy, and yummy. Complete your Subway sandwich, pizza, or salad with the delicious Caramel Apple Cookie or any other cookie flavor and dessert, available for limited time at all Subway locations. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. This is our second and final segment for this Tuesday morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to our listeners, our YouTube viewers, and of course, our guests. We like to say good morning. Good morning. And we put the focus on Cayman movement, mobile training, and fitness. And this morning we have the lead fitness instructor, Leanne, and Leanne is joining us by way of a link. Leanne, good morning. Leanne, good morning.
Hey.
Hello.
Good morning, Leanne. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, this is Anita. Good to have you joining us this morning. It's a pity you can't be in the studio with us, but we do appreciate you joining us via the link.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Leanne, Cayman Movement, a mobile training and fitness business. Can you share some details on the formation and the history of Cayman Movement?
Of course. The business was formed in 2017. The name represents the movement we do in fitness, but also a positive transformational movement in one's life. And it's kind of spread into our group classes as everybody has gotten really close with our group classes as well. I've been with the company since we started in 2017, and last year we added another instructor, and his name is Russell.
Okay, sound like fun. Now, Leanne, what are the primary classes and services that you offer at Cayman Movement?
The main offerings right now are personal training sessions, corporate fitness classes, and group public fitness classes. We also offer private yoga classes and swim lessons. We do private basketball training sessions, and all of our offerings are available for kids or adults.
Okay. Now, can you give us some details on how someone can register for classes?
Absolutely. You can contact us on social media or by email at caymanmovement@gmail.com or by communicating through WhatsApp, and the number is 516-8663 or 516, and the word is TONE, so TONE.
Okay. Now, yoga. You offer yoga classes. Can you explain a little bit about yoga sessions and one-on-one personal training that you offer?
Yes, absolutely. I'll give a little bit of a background on the instructors because everybody teaches personal training and yoga sessions a little bit differently. For myself, I did my Master's of Education in Coaching Studies and taught university classes like anatomy, health education, lifetime fitness, and wellness. I played university basketball at the University of Victoria and was a head coach for college basketball, winning 2 silver medals at conference championships. I also did forest firefighting on an initial attack crew in Canada. So with that combination of fitness and basketball, I would get really tight, and so I did pursue becoming a certified yoga instructor, and particularly have a passion for helping increase range of motion for tight individuals, including athletes or those that might have sciatic pain, back pain, from maybe office work or previous injuries. Russell Taze is a former college volleyball athlete and a basketball coach. He has a degree in physical education and is a certified personal trainer as well. So both of us kind of bring a high-performance edge, but we love providing an inclusive environment, whether it's for a group class or an individual class. We realize lots of people have injuries, and we love to kind of accommodate. We both have experience working with a team of doctors, chiropractors, physio, for athletes that played college sports. So we feel familiar and comfortable with working with other professionals to just ensure that somebody's coming back from an injury in a safe way.
Okay.
As we
firefighting, that sounds exciting. How long?
Such a fun job.
Sorry?
It was such a fun job. I was did it for 5 years. The biggest fire I was on was actually 75 times the size of Grand Cayman. Wow. I was on a helicopter attack crew, and I moved my way up. And by my last year, I did it for 5 years. And by my last year, I was second in command. So it was really exciting, and I definitely would recommend it because it was just such a fun job.
Well, you're on the safer side now, Leanne.
Yes. Yep.
How many participants can you accommodate in a fitness class, and how long are the sessions?
Well, definitely that's changed since COVID-19 started happening. We definitely try to limit our class sizes. So generally we accommodate up to 20 people. All of our classes are outside, so that adds a safety element, and then all instructors are vaccinated as well. So we keep it well spaced, and it's just a really nice way to get all the energy, stress out by, coming to a fitness class and just being able to sweat it out, but also do it in a safe way.
Okay. Now, how beneficial is it for all of us in leading a healthy lifestyle, be it eating right and keeping fit?
It's hugely beneficial overall, but especially important during a pandemic, especially one that revolves around a respiratory illness, to focus on building aerobic capacity and increasing our anaerobic threshold. So we think of our lungs as just breathing in and out, but anaerobic is all about without oxygen, so how fast you can sprint without starting to feel that lactic acid build up. We want to push that anaerobic threshold up so that we can, be able to be without oxygen for even longer, as well as push the aerobic capacity so that we're getting more oxygen intake. So both of those things are developed over a long term, but definitely good to get into, whether it's a kid or an adult. Super important to focus on right now. And then this overall, a healthy lifestyle is great for stress reduction. It's good for just right down to a cellular level. It's so healthy for our body to do that long term. And then our joints as well. Mobility, our tissues become more fibrous as we age. And so when we keep our mobility throughout our life, it allows us to have a better quality of life when we're older as well.
Leanne, going back to accommodation for your fitness classes, let's talk about the safety protocols that makes it so easy to social distance. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because I know our listeners, they go to the gym and they have to follow all the protocols, but you are the outdoors. How do you manage this?
Yeah, it's definitely encouraged and just kind of discussed, and then the instructors are able to kind of give feedback where we need to, but just making sure that your mat is 6 to 10 feet away from somebody else, making sure that just being considerate of another person's space, just because right now we have no idea who has been exposed. And so we actually have a very thoughtful group, and people are able to kind of, people are fine with wanting the space. And I think that people that are coming to outdoor classes right now are they see the value in the safety part, and it's very easy. They're on the same page. It's not like we have to police them too much, but just sometimes a reminder if we do see that, hey, remember, keep a little bit of distance and space between, but people are pretty great, actually.
Okay. Now, that means the instructors have to shout a bit harder, louder, so because, everybody's spread out, distancing?
That's a really good question. Actually, because we do have small group classes, we don't have to, and there's no actual music. It's really peaceful first thing in the morning. We explain an exercise, and then we do a minute of that exercise. So we give a couple options. So superheroes, so that kind of alternating prone extensions, lifting opposite arm, opposite leg. And then we give the option of doing a sprint. We give the option of like a core exercise. We give 3 options, making sure that we're providing inclusive options so that everybody could come. If they had an injury, they'd be able to choose one of the options that works for them. And then we start the clock. So then we're just kind of making sure that everybody's form is correct. But there's no, it's not difficult to speak because there's no loud music playing. So everybody can kind of hear, and it's a small group. So they hear in between the sets of the 1 minute.
Okay. Leanne, stay on the line for us, please. We're going to take a quick break. If you're just joining us, you're listening to The Business Buzz. This is our second and final segment for the morning. We're speaking with Leanne. She's an instructor at Cayman Movement Mobile Training and Fitness. And when we come back, we'll be having this discussion further with Leanne. In the meantime, we're going to go to the break.
2020. Unprecedented times, uncertainty, and literally a new way of life.
Life happens, usually without warning.
That is why making sure that your family is insured is so important.
Cayman Insurance Center, 47 years strong, working to protect your family and your most valuable assets.
Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family.
For more information, call 949-4657. Cayman Insurance Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, health, motor, and other lines of insurance products and services at affordable rates.
Now open on the sister island, Brack Medical Supplies. Located at 403 Gerard Smith Avenue, next to the Alexander Hotel. Open Tuesday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Telephone number 948-2228. Brack Medical Supplies.
This is how we wake you up in the morning. Praise time on Radio Cayman. Praise time.
Jesus in the morning. I will. So send me, Lord, I will go. Born again. Take God, I'm born again.
Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We're speaking with Leanne. She's an instructor at Cayman Movement, Mobile Training and Fitness. Leanne?
Hi.
Just making sure you're there. Leanne is joining us on the Buzz this morning by way of a link. Leanne, it's great to have you on the other end of the line. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Leanne, your company, your business, it's in-person training and online as well, correct?
We don't actually have any online options right now.
Okay.
We do offer online training for our clients on island if they want them, but unless they're in a lockdown or a quarantine situation, they choose to train in person.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't be opposed to exploring that if somebody was in lockdown and want to connect with us, they can feel free.
Okay. Now, with so much saturation in the fitness industry here in the Cayman Islands, how do you, Cayman Movement, maintain the competitive edge?
I definitely come from a competitive background with college basketball, both coaching and playing. So I definitely love to compete. But I just view so many fitness options as a win for Cayman. I think it's positive that anyone starts a new year or a month or just decides to add some movement back in their life. And so sometimes when, a new client decides to go with somebody else, I actually wish them the best. And I think that's, great job. Best of luck with that. If in the future you want to try us, then would love to have you out for some classes. But yeah, I think it's positive that we have a lot of great options on the island.
I absolutely agree with you. When do the fitness sessions generally take place? At what times?
Right now, we're all morning for our public group classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. We do some evening classes, but they're for private corporations or a small group of friends that sign up. We definitely would be open to adding classes. We just need people to reach out and let us know what works for them.
Okay. Now, do you also offer swimming lessons? And you did mention basketball and other sport-specific training, right?
Yeah, I love the challenge of trying to teach somebody to swim in a short amount of time, especially like 10 lessons or less. We have had some kids be able to learn in 10 lessons, and I think that being on an island, obviously, is so important. But we do also teach adults, so there's some options there. And then for basketball, we provide sport-specific training, both on the fitness side, but also some skill-based fitness training. And it's awesome because we do have, so my personal, when I was an athlete, I had my training programs from every year, but I also have my training programs as a coach. All of it's research-based, so really trying to follow the science on how to get an edge with training. And that includes the skill-based training too. So making sure everything's competitive, timed, that we're doing the right kind of skill training so that kids can progress as quickly as possible. Because it's never too early to really start. If there's a child out there and they're 10 and they're thinking, oh, I want to play college basketball, it's not too young of an age to go, okay, let's put this passion in this area. And even if the goals change, that person is going to get a lot of rewards out of being disciplined, improving their fitness. And it does help because as a college coach, I would start recruiting in the 7th grade or grade 7, really young. And so it's great to kind of help kids that might have goals or just if they want to just get moving and basketball is fun to them. We definitely have done sessions with even kids that are 5 and 6 years old. So
that's awesome. Now, moving forward, Leanne, what can we expect from Cayman Movement?
Moving forward, we're going to try to kind of continue with what we're doing. We're going to endeavor to make positive differences on island by providing inclusive environments for all. So even people that are maybe injured or differently abled, they're welcome in our classes, both group and individual classes. And we hope to see you out at a class.
Okay, sounds like fun. Now, how can someone reach out to you or to Cayman Movement to book these classes, Leanne?
You can email at caymanmovement@gmail.com or WhatsApp 516-8663. And you can also follow us on social media. Sometimes we'll do a class giveaway on Instagram or on our Facebook page. So it's always a good idea to like and follow on social media as well.
Yep. So, Leanne, for you, what's the most popular class at Cayman Movement?
Our most popular classes right now are the Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Those are group classes, and the group is really awesome. It's a great vibe, and then we've actually gotten pretty close, and sometimes we go out for coffee after and have an outdoor coffee at Foster's. So it's definitely one of our most popular classes.
Okay. So far, what's been the feedback from your clients, Leanne?
The feedback from clients are, generally clients end up turning into friends, very supportive group that we have. And the feedback is just that they like our outdoor classes. They feel like it's a good option. They like knowing that we're kind of taking this seriously, trying to be as safe as possible. And just providing an option in the early morning when it's the best time of the day to kind of get moving and it's not hot, and we get to watch the sunrise together, take some awesome photos, and they generally love those classes. And it's a really good time to actually train because metabolically it starts your day off well, better than coffee. Your metabolism gets going, and then it's not like you're training in the evening sometimes that you can't sleep because you're so excited from like the blood pumping and that raised heart rate. So definitely recommend training early in the morning.
How do you keep fit, Leanne? I know you do all this stuff, but for yourself, your mental health and everything else, how do you stay healthy and up to date?
Yeah, I really think that it's important to know that during different periods of your life, we're not always going to be at the peak of the mountain, and I definitely have had times in my life where I've been in the ultimate best shape of my life. Currently, I, enjoy getting active at the classes, and I try to put some lifestyle movement in, so I try to have this movement at classes, but I also try to take the stairs where I can. And, full disclosure, I'm actually one of the people, I did not think I would say this on radio for sure, but I actually did get COVID. And so it really kind of did impact, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it did impact me, and it really kind of slowed me down for a bit. So right now my training is really trying to kind of make sure that I'm safely doing what my doctor's recommending. And I'm a very private person, so that's why I'm kind of shocked that I'm sharing this. But I know that there's got to be some other people out there that might be discouraged with how COVID impacted them, and just know that from everybody's going to feel that differently, and there is a way to kind of slowly get back. And I'm confident that I'm going to, get back to where I was, but it's very common to have, peaks and valleys in your training journey.
Leanne, we do appreciate you sharing about, contracting COVID. I mean, we really appreciate you doing this, because a lot of us don't like to talk about it. And sometimes I'm always asking, anytime I come in encounter anybody who's contracted COVID, I always ask them, well, what did you do? How did you get over it? Just for myself, and sometimes it's good to share it with other people who are not sure what to do, and but anything specific that you'd like to share with us that you did during that time?
Yeah, I think that we're probably all feeling fatigued from the last couple years, and so I think it's always a good idea to try to keep a well-balanced nutrition, so making sure that half the plate is veggies, and that will kind of, give all of your cells the ability to maybe react to getting sick better. One thing that I think is really important actually to monitor is your resting heart rate. So you can just get a Fitbit and see your resting heart rate. And what's interesting is that, and I used to monitor this for my college basketball team, is that you can actually see an infection with an elevated heart rate sometimes before you feel an infection. So if you're feeling fine and you have a elevated heart rate, elevated resting heart rate, what that reflects is that your body's fatigued and either at risk for infection or maybe even fighting one. So in those periods before you get symptomatic for COVID, you can make a huge difference for, making sure that you're getting the right nutrition, staying hydrated, getting rest, so that your body has the best chance to fight this. And then what a lesson that I learned through this is that I think that for me, I needed to have a little bit less pride and contact a doctor earlier versus toughing it out a bit too much and being like, I've got this. I've been training my whole life, and this is going to be absolutely no problem for me. With hindsight, I think I would have reached out a little bit earlier, because I knew someone that did and was able to, get some treatment. I think they received a little bit of a steroid in those first couple of days, and that made a difference. So, but I think that we've kind of noticed that COVID is impacting us all in a different way. So it's hard to give specific advice, but...
Yeah. And according to Dr. Fauci, each and every one of us will get COVID at some point in time. And, we're seeing that. So, you're fit, Leanne, and it's hard to know that that you're going through this, but we wish you well. Oh, you've been through it, so we're happy that you came out of this pretty much unscathed, and we're glad to have you on the air this morning. Leanne, how do you, you and the rest of the trainers, what sort of certification do you have to have for your company, for Cayman Movement?
So, just in general for personal training, certifications are always a good idea. For us specifically, Russell and myself, we both have degrees. I have my master's in education and coaching studies, so that's master's level nutrition classes, exercise physiology, biomechanics, and then I also have over a decade of teaching experience at the university level. So I've taught health education and taught lifetime fitness and wellness, which includes a chapter on how to form a personal training program for different interest groups, people with different kind of illnesses and stuff like that. So we feel pretty confident in the education and the certification that is behind our training. We try to follow the research. We try to make educated programming and keep people safe in the movements that they're doing. because some movements look really fun. You see it on Instagram, and you're like, whoa, that seems like such a fun move. But if you look at the angle of the knee over dead space, or just what the movement for some bodies, that would be not the best movement for the knee. Some bodies would be fine with it, but somebody that maybe doesn't have the same ankle flexibility would feel more torque in their knee. So providing educated training is always a good idea. And then I have my certification as a yoga teacher for my 200 hours.
Okay. Leanne, yoga. Everyone I want to do yoga. I want to come to a class and do it, but I'm always skeptical, because when I look at the ladies stretching and they're doing their, all their tabletops and their dog dung and all these things, I'm like, I can't do that. I can do maybe basic, but what would you say to that person out there who would love to try yoga, but they're shy, they're just not sure how it's going to work out? What are you going to say to them? What can you say to them?
I absolutely can understand that. I think that sometimes classes in general, and yoga classes are no different, can be intimidating. I really recommend finding an inclusive place where that you're going to be valued just showing up as you are, with the body you have, with whatever experience you have, because everybody comes to a class with a certain amount of experience, and everyone really should be welcome. So with regards to with yoga, sometimes it can feel in a class that other people might be watching you, and that's usually not the case. And just really ensuring, but trusting yourself. Like if you go to a class and it's just not the right environment, not the right fit, then trusting that about yourself. But definitely you should come to a class, because we would love to have you, and we really are a very inclusive class. So we run a beginner-friendly class, and it is an anatomy-informed class. So we talk a lot about, the proprioceptors of your body, which allow us to stretch. So our proprioceptors need to calm down to get a nice static stretch, and that's why, sometimes we say static stretching is really great. It allows you to kind of calm the muscle spindles, the ganglia tendons, which can control muscle length as well as communicate about muscle contraction. And calming those with slow movements is really great. Interestingly enough, static stretching is really good for getting maybe more range of motion and really lengthening those muscles. But before your workout, you want more of a dynamic stretching, because you don't want to calm those proprioceptors, because that can disturb the amount of power that your muscles are able to produce. So before a workout, you'd want to kind of go through some range of motion with some dynamic stretching, and then following your workout doing the static stretching. But incorporating yoga in daily stretching is so important for the body, because the World Health Organization actually recommends 30 minutes per day, and flexibility can be trained daily, of mobility flexibility training. So we want to do that for our muscles and our joints, because long term that's going to be better for our body as we age, less injuries, and just joints being definitely in less pain, happier as we get older.
Definitely. When your bones creaking, mine are creaking right now. Leanne, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Anything you'd like to leave with our listeners and our viewers?
Well, thank you so much for having us. And I just want to encourage everybody out there. I mean, it's been an interesting couple of years, and I think everybody's doing their best and getting moving, whether it's with Cayman Movement or on their own or with another company. Definitely encouraged, because it's just a positive way to, get those endorphins, boosting your mood, and also just super healthy for your body at a basic level. So thank you so much for having me and for talking about Cayman Movement this morning. It's so appreciated.
And before I let you go, Leanne, how about some contact details?
Yeah, so caymanmovement@gmail.com is the email address. And then communicating through WhatsApp, 516-8663. And just for the moment here, if people go on social media and like the Facebook page, follow on Instagram, they're able to have a free class for tomorrow, Wednesday, 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. So, and that includes you. So we would love to have you out for it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leanne. I do appreciate it. Well, you do stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you one of these days in class.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too. And you've been listening to Miss Leanne, one of the instructors over at Cayman Mobile, or Cayman Movement, Mobile Training and Fitness. Leanne, you know, Leanne, I didn't get Leanne's surname, Susan, but we'll have her in studio maybe one of these days. We'd like to say thanks to our sponsors this morning of the Business Buzz: Cayman Insurance Center, Optical Outlook, Cayman Medical Supplies, and TCE Paint. Thanks also to our listeners and our YouTube viewers and our guest in the studio this morning, our first guest, that was Mr. Brandon Caruana, founder of Code Cayman. And you just heard via a link, Cayman Movement Mobile Training and Fitness Instructor Leanne. Want to say thanks to our producer, Miss Susan Watson. Susan puts this all together. I'm only the mouthpiece on the buzz. And until Thursday, January 20th, when we'll bring another Business Buzz. Meantime, please stay safe. Remember to mask up. Keep your hands sanitized or washed if you can grab sanitizer, any sanitizer nearby. Practice social distancing, and if at all possible, please vaccinate. Anita saying thank you so much for joining us. Susan, we're early this morning. Yeah. That means we'll have more music on the breakfast session coming up, right? Susan she's got some really good music lined up for you until 10 o'clock. Coming up at 10, we'll have RC Fusion at noon, midday news. So we've got a full morning lineup for you. Here's hoping you'll stay safe, enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll see you, God's willing, on Thursday for another Business Buzz.
Electric bills are up, air quality is down, and apparently a global pandemic to dampen your spirits. Sherwin-Williams can help with their insulating super paint featuring zero VOC with air purifying, sanitizing, microbicidal technology. Prevent the spread of bacteria and kill up to 99% of bacteria. Improve your home air quality and fight COVID germs. Exterior insulating acrylic can reduce up to 85% solar and UV radiation. A freshly painted home can definitely lift those spirits. A brighter home, better home, air quality, and lower home CUC bills. That's a win home run. Sherwin-Williams, 150 years strong. TCE Paint Shop has 3 locations to better serve you. Cox Lumber and the original store at 27 Godfrey Nixon Way. Call 943-0565.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Optical Outlook, now at their new location in Anderson Square. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook. And Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And TCE Paint Shop, with 3 locations to better serve your home decor needs. Cox Lumber, Sparky Drive, Cox Lumber,